Maybe I'm the only person on the planet that's sitting here by myself on Christmas Eve. Actually, I'm not by myself. My husband and my stepson are outside playing with cars in the garage, bonding. We're going to do all of our Christmas stuff tomorrow, and I've pretty much got all of my cooking that I can do done. I have a broken foot. I'm in a cast. So, not a whole lot I can do in the kitchen right now. I can't stand up for very long on one foot. I got an office chair though. I was thinking I have this big table in the middle of my kitchen. It's a stainless steel table that you see in restaurants, and it's got the shelving above it too. So it's pretty good sized table. I think it's 5 foot long and 4 foot wide, 4 foot deep, and it's counter height. Anyway, I have two office chairs, and I was thinking about trying to take one of them in my kitchen, and if I can get around that table with them, I can get around in the kitchen pretty good. Or I could even put my knee on one of the chairs and use the chair like a knee board if the chair will fit around that table. I'm going to try that a little bit because if that works, I could do a little bit of baking in there. I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Nobody's talking to me. Gonna start crying. No, I promise I'm not alone for Christmas Eve. My daughter's doing her thing with her in-laws. She's my only child that lives here in town. We'll be seeing my son tomorrow. We'll be video chatting with all the grandkids that don't live here tomorrow. Um, we always do our Christmas on Christmas Day. I've always done it that way. My mom always did it, and my mom lives in Wichita, so we're going to her house for Christmas tomorrow. And I'm bringing what we call funeral potatoes, which is a bunch of stuff in potatoes, whatever I can find. Today I found a couple of cream soups and of course cheese, lots of cheese. I'm gonna put cream cheese, Velveeta cheese, cheddar cheese. I've got some other cheese from what's that cheese store? Everybody would know them. Hickory Farms. Yeah, I think it's Hickory Farms or Cracker Barrel. Might be Cracker Barrel cheese. Variety of that. So I'm going to cut those up because I'm not eating them. I have to cut some of the cheese out of my diet. Yeah, because, well, I'm better now, but I have been on pain pills a few days ago. I broke my foot on Monday, and the pain was excruciating that night. Actually, I slept all night in pain. Let's see. Yeah, I slept. No, I take that back. I didn't sleep that night with pain because I did get pain medicine before the day was up. What happened was I broke my foot in the morning. Probably going to have to say all this over again, but I was leaving for work and I'm lazy and I don't like to scrape my car, and I had frost on my windshield in my car. And so I went out and started my car about 10 minutes before I was getting ready to leave because I was going to at least soften up the frost that was on the car so I could just scrape it off real easily. And if not, hopefully I was going to, defrost all of it and not have to do anything. That would have been perfect. Anyway, so I go out, I start my car. I only got one set of keys. My husband's gone at work, he's got his own keys. Um, and so when I go start my car like that, then I have to come back up before I get ready to leave the house and lock the house up. And I'm doing all that. Well, I pick up another kid and I give him a ride to work. I call him a kid. He's 31 years old. He's one of my kids his age. But anyway, he's their handyman where I work. And so I pick him up too. So anyway, because I was farting around, goofing around, I was running just a couple minutes behind my own schedule. And so I was trying to hurry. So I went out and I defrosted my car for about 10 minutes. And so when I was actually getting ready to leave, I had to take the keys out of the car and run back up to the house and lock the house. No big deal, right? Well, I go flying off the porch, not being careful. And as I hit the second to the bottom step on the porch, my ankle rolled. And as it did, it landed on my foot and I could feel it. I pretty much knew it was broken. I was hoping it wasn't, but I pretty much knew when I landed on the ground and the amount of pain I was in. And because I felt it and heard it, I pretty much knew it was broken. But I was lying to myself and I was like, well, anyway, so I laid out there on the ground for 10 minutes, not crying, not screaming, but just trying to figure out how in the world am I going to get up? I'm literally on the sidewalk in front of my house. And we live on a residential street, but it's kind of a throughway for north and south. People take it. So my street is kind of busy for a residential street. And so cars are driving by. They had to see me sitting out or, laying out there on the ground, but nobody stopped. Um, these days, I guess I understand that. I probably would have stopped. If I would have seen somebody out there obviously laying on the ground, I probably would have stopped. I'm just saying that. But nobody stopped. And so I literally laid out there for about 10 minutes in horrible pain, not crying, not screaming, because if I would have done that, one of my neighbors would have come out of the house, I'm sure. But I was kind of embarrassed too, and I wasn't sure that it was broken, but I knew I was hurting a lot. And I thought, well, you know what? If I can get up, I'm going on to work. You know, it's going to maybe I just sprained it or whatever. And so that's what I did is I finally, after like about 10 minutes, I got myself up somehow and hobbled to my car. I couldn't put any weight. So I pretty much hopped to my car and I went and picked up the kid. Uh, we went to work. He helped me get into work, and I stayed at work until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the pain never let up. I mean, it wasn't just as horrible as it was when it immediately happened, but I mean, I, but it didn't even swell up that much, which was kind of made me doubtful that it was broken. But at the same time, the pain was there, and I definitely couldn't put any weight on it. So I'm taking my office chair all around my job and scooting myself around in it instead of trying to walk. Finally, about 1 o'clock, I just told my boss, which he had been trying to get me to go to the doctor since I got there, but I was like, no, I just sprained it. Well, I finally, after 1 o'clock, at about 1 o'clock, I called my doctor because I didn't want to go to the ER and pay $400 just to walk into the ER. So I called my doctor and told her what happened, and she had me come in, and she took me. My doctor's office is connected to the hospital, so her nurse took me over to the hospital part and we got x-rays, and sure enough it was broken. And so and I had asked her for something for pain, and I don't do that. I mean, my doctor knows if I'm asking for something for pain, I'm in pain, because there's only been a couple of times, and one of them was when I used to have those horrible headaches. But there's only, that's it. I have to be in horrible pain to ask for pain medicine. Anyway, so I did ask her for pain medicine, but it was reading the x-ray, and she told me, she goes, cut they're really coming down on pain medicine, so I'm not going to be able to give you pain medicine unless it's broken. She said, if it's broken, yeah. So yeah, as soon as the x-ray came back that it was broken, she called the pain medicine in. Here's the funny part about this stuff too, though, is when I was leaving work, my cell phone doesn't work at my job. Okay, so when I was leaving work that day to go to see the doctor, I pulled over on the side of the country road there, and I was going to call my neighbor to see if she would meet me at my house and drive me to the doctor so she could go in and get a wheelchair for me. My husband usually works out of town every day, so I knew I wasn't going to probably be able to get a hold of him to do this. And he didn't even know anything about any of this yet because he'd been at work for hours. Anyway, so as I'm leaving work to drive and go to the doctor's office, um, I pull over because I'm going to call my neighbor and ask her if she can drive me to the doctor and push me in a wheelchair once we get there, because I'm not going to be able to walk around in that doctor's office and in that hospital. So I'm trying to call, and I see in my rear view mirror a truck behind me. So I'm like, well, I'll just wait till I get to town, and I'll call her once I get home, no big deal. So I pull back out and I'm on the road driving to the house, and my husband calls and he's like, where do you think you're going? And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, I'm right behind you. That's me behind you in that truck. He was in his crew truck from work. And I said, how come you're behind me? He goes, I'm getting ready to go back to the shop. And I know he passes by where I work sometimes to get to different jobs that he goes to out south. Anyway, so it's my husband that's behind me. And um, I tell him what happened. And he said, okay. He goes, then just go home. He said, I'm going to go take these pipes and stuff off my truck, off the crew truck, and I'm going to tell him I'm going to take off and go take my wife to the doctor. Okay. So, yeah, it just worked out that my husband happened to be very coincidentally right behind me as I'm pulling out to go drive myself to the doctor. So he was able to help me by, taking me right up to the door at the doctor's office and going in and getting me a wheelchair. So that happened. Anyway, so I didn't get a cast until the next day, because by the time, I went, like I said, I didn't even go to the doctor until after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And, x-rays, and then waiting for the radiologist to read the x-rays and blah, 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 blah. So that all happened on Monday, and on Tuesday I got the cast. Well, supposedly I'm only supposed to have to stay in this cast possibly for 2 weeks. When I go back, 2 weeks from the day that I got the cast would have been New Year's Day. Well, they're not going to be open, so it'll be the second before I can go get they're supposed to take the cast off, do another x-ray, see if it's healing, and then I go into a walking boot, she said. if everything's doing okay. Well, I'm not supposed to put any weight on this cast at all. I'm supposed to use crutches. Well, let me tell you something. That's not working out too good for me because no matter what, I have to use my foot a little bit just for balance. I'm an old lady with brain problems and I don't have good balance, which is part of the reason, probably. Anyway, so that's that. So here I am on Christmas Eve. We did our little Christmas dinner and gift opening for the grandkids yesterday. Which I was supposed to cook that food too, but my daughter ended up cooking since, well, I'm the way that I am. So my daughter cooked, and anybody who's ever eaten Mexican food will know what I'm talking. My daughter cooked pozole, which is a Mexican soup, and it's very delicious. And she brought cabbage and pico de gallo and uh, avocado and cracklings and all kinds of stuff that you and lime, and you put all that in there and eat it up. It's delicious. Anyway, that was our and then my other daughter, my stepdaughter, brought pie. And Mama didn't do no cooking yesterday at all. I didn't do any cooking. The most I did yesterday was help the girls load the dishwasher. After we got done eating, they loaded all the bowls and silverware and stuff like that in the dishwasher. And I didn't have to do that. The girls were in there doing that, but I don't know. Anyway, so it's a mess. And mm, I don't know. So what's everybody? I wish somebody talked to me. Probably gonna start crying now. My husband's outside with uh with his son, and they're playing with cars. Later on, my daughter broke her leg. She broke her leg at the bottom part of her leg about, I don't know, maybe it's been 2 years ago. And she was in a walking boot. And so she told me, she said, Mom, I'm going to give you that boot so you don't have to buy one. She said, they're like $200. So I got crutches from my ex-husband. His wife brought me crutches, and my daughter's going to give me a boot, the boot that she used, which I hope is what my orthopedist is going to want me to use, because I don't want to be spending no $200 for no cast. I've got a boot too somewhere, but it's a little one, and I think they're going to want me in one of those big ones like my daughter had to wear. Because this cast comes almost all the way up to my knee. It's just right below my knee. So that boot that I have, or that air cast is what they call the one that I have, is just barely, it just comes up a little bit past, well, a couple inches, 5 inches or so past your ankle. And that boot that my daughter had, would it comes up as far as this cast does. So I got a feeling that's what they're going to want me in anyway. But either way, I mean, Like I said, I'm trying to save money through all this stupid stuff because I just got done paying a big old medical bill. I just got that all cleared up. My husband gave me some money because I was making little piddly payments on stuff for my medical bills because I don't make that much money. I don't make that much money. My husband makes decent money, but we don't share money. I mean, if I ask him for money, he'll give me money. That's not a problem. But he has his money and he pays his own bills, and I have my money and I pay my own bills. But he saw me just piddling, whittling away trying to pay my medical bills for this year off. Um, and he just gave me the money to get that cleared up. So here we go again, but at least I don't have the emergency room bill too. I was bound and determined I wasn't going to the emergency room to get to get an X-ray that way. I saved myself $400 or $500 just by going to my doctor instead and having her order it. And I'm not cheap, but dadgummit, why are you gonna throw money away if you don't have to, You know what I mean? So that's the happenings around here. And like I said, normally I'd be in the kitchen all day today because that's what I usually do on Christmas Eve is bake and cook. But I'm not even making my funeral potatoes the way I usually do. I usually use real potatoes, peel them, cut them all up, all that kind of stuff. And I'm using frozen chunk hash browns, not the shredded kind. I mean, you can use the shredded kind, but I'm using the little, what they call O'Brien, I guess. Well, they don't have onions and peppers in them, the ones that I'm using. I think those are what they call O'Brien, but you know what I mean, the little uh, cubes of potatoes instead of shredded. That's what I'm using for these funeral potatoes. And I've got it all. I just have to cook it. I'm gonna when the potatoes thaw out a little bit, I'm gonna add the rest of the fixings to them. I just put them in the refrigerator until in the morning, and I'm gonna get up about 7 tomorrow and bake it, and then take off and go to mom's. I guess everybody's busy today on Christmas Eve. But Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope somebody will watch this back and hear this because I do want to tell y'all Merry Christmas. If you hear a noise in the background that sounds like pigs fighting, it's my dogs. The two girls just love to go at each other all the time. It's their game. They're not serious. Although the old lady gets kind of mad after a while sometimes and has to snap at the young one and tell her to leave her alone. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to have to hobble to the thermostat and raise the heat a little bit because I'm a little bit chilly. So, did anybody get anything for Christmas yet? I got some cool stuff. Um, my boss gave me this cool little thing from Hobby Lobby that is a wood box with several metal drawers, and some of them, there's one big one and like 6 smaller ones. So that's cool. I'm going to put that in my kitchen somewhere probably. Hey, ladies, cut it out. No, no fighting. Stop it. They're so rude. Anyway, so I got that. My daughter got me this really cool comforter set, and the comforter has that woolly stuff on one side of it. I love it, love it, love it. I don't know. Right now, we have a queen size bed, but we use a king size comforter on our bed. And that works out really good for us so that each of us have plenty of blankie left on our own side of the bed. And my husband's terrible about like sleeping in the middle of the bed and like wrapping himself all up in the blanket in the night. So that king size works out a little bit better for that. But the one she got me is queen size, which will fit my bed. I guess I have to take it out of the pack and see how big it is. I haven't taken it out yet. I can't get down to the basement either. So my sheets aren't going to get washed this week unless my husband takes them down there for me later. I didn't ask him, so he'll do it if I ask him. But I usually change my sheets on the weekends too. And I know it's not the weekend anymore, but considering all that's happened, my sheets haven't gotten changed yet. Which we won't die if we don't change our sheets for a week. We both take showers before we go to bed. So we go to bed clean. And we're old people, so not like there's no action. But, but the action has definitely slowed down, especially with this broken leg thing. We did try yesterday. I wish if somebody would have been filming in our bedroom yesterday, that would have been a very comical thing to watch. And I'm not going to go into any other detail than that, but it would have been funny. We were both laughing. Anyway, so now that I've told you my whole life story, and my puppy is bringing me her baby, I'm going to the thermostat. I'll be right back. Don't leave. There's only two little people in here. Nobody talking to me. Now there's one. Don't leave me. I'm so pathetic today with my broken foot. I can't do nothing. Nobody's here with me. And now I'm not drunk. I haven't had a drop of alcohol for it's been a long time. I can't even, contrary to what some people think, I'm not drunk. Okay, I'm going to the thermostat because I'm seriously sitting here cold. So I'm going to go turn the heat up in here a little bit. It's cold today. That's my dog squeaking her baby at me. She wants me to throw it. Go back. Go back. Okay. My dog's trying to murder me too because she's got her toys everywhere all over the floor. So I can trip on it with my cast. Oh. And I'm not supposed to be walking on this cast, but I do it anyway. But man, it really puts my body out of whack walking with it because I'm having to use all my weight on the other hip. Woo! Yeah. I will be glad. Hopefully, if I get this thing off on the 2nd, then hopefully I will get a walk-in cast, and that'll be the end of that. I feel so I don't know, I feel kind of nostalgic today. Girls, please don't do that. Everybody can hear you. They're going to think you're over there fighting. Yeah, I feel kind of nostalgic today. I don't know. I'm in a really good mood, but I'm kind of. Oh, my daughter put a picture on Facebook of her and my son when they were little sitting on Santa's lap, and I had to cry for about an hour after seeing that. Wow. And, next month is his birthday, and my two daughters' birthdays are next month, too. And it's always really kind of hard on all of us because we always had their parties together, and I don't know. Anyway, there's 5 people watching. Wow. Somebody say something to me. Somebody say something to me. I'm so lonely. I don't want to be a big old. Oh, hi, weirdo. I just put it on live chat and saw that. You were talking to me. I'm sorry. I had it on top chat before and I didn't see. But so, oh wow. Somebody's gone by with a big old bass. It's shaking my house. My son had a big old boom boom stereo in his car like that. You could hear him coming for across town just about. In our big old town. Our whole city, our whole town is I don't know, 5 miles from start to finish all the way across town. So it's not very big. Well, oh, you're wrapping gifts. I did all that. Uh, Actually, I had all of my gifts wrapped last weekend except for 2 that came in the mail this week. But I did get them done because they're one of them was my dad's, and I'm taking that tomorrow. Oh, and something kind of funny happened yesterday when the kids were opening up their presents. I always buy the grandkids pajamas for Christmas. It's just a tradition I've started when my oldest one was a baby. And I buy the grandkids pajamas for Christmas. They each get pajamas, a toy, and I usually buy something for all of the grandkids. All of the grandkids, except the 12-year-old, of course, like to play with. I got a play kitchen here for them to play with. And so that's one of the gifts that I like to give them is new dishes and play food and stuff like that for their kitchen. So that's what I got them as a gift together this year was some new dishes and play food and stuff for their kitchen. And then they each got their own toy and they each got their own. I buy them from Amazon. I get 3 pair of pajamas for each grandkid, but they come in a package together. Anyway, so they got pajamas yesterday. Well, like I said, the grandkids opened their Christmas presents yesterday, and my little 3-year-old granddaughter wanted to put her pajamas on. Well, it was in the evening, so we didn't care. So she went to go put her pajamas on, and they were giant. I mean, giant on her. Now she's 3, and I have an almost 6-year-old granddaughter too, who's tall for her age. Like she's as tall as a 7-year-old for sure. She's in kindergarten, and she's 5 until February. She'll be 6 in February. But she's, like I said, she's tall. So I ordered her pajamas. I think I ordered her a size 7 since she's going to be 6 and she's tall. Anyway, so somehow when I was wrapping them, I mixed up the 2 girls' pajamas. So the 3-year-old was wearing the almost 6-year-old's pajamas until we figured out, because I was like, wow. I mean, I know I always order the grandkids their sizes one size bigger than what they wear because they shrink, and that way they last through the whole season too. But man, I mean, this little girl was just swimming in her pajamas. Well, come to find out, I mixed them up when I was wrapping them and gave her her cousin pajamas. So that was funny. I wish we would have got a video of that because I mean, my stepdaughter took her in the bedroom and changed her clothes and put these pajamas on. And I mean, they were like a foot too long and too big for her. It was pretty fun. I hate wrapping presents too, weirdo. I do. I hate it. That's my least favorite job. In fact, I usually have my daughter do it for me, but she didn't want to do it this year. She works too many dang hours. I didn't even ask her, but she used to like to wrap presents. So I used to have her do all the wrapping. But she works a lot of hours. My daughter works at Hostess, where they make Twinkies and ding dongs and all that stuff that you guys eat. Yeah, we have one of those plants here, and that's where my daughter works. And they pay good too. But she works a lot of hours. They work 12 hours a day, 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. So, and she's also a cosmetologist. She has a chair at her house, and she cuts quite a few people's hairs. I bet she cuts 8 or 9 people's hair a week just for extra money. She can't legally like charge them, but they tip her, you know. And she doesn't do like hair color and stuff like that at home. She's got a friend that has a salon though, so if she wanted to do hair color and stuff like that, she can go there and do it. No, you wouldn't, weirdo. I mean, it smells great in town, but it's just like working at a restaurant. When you work there for a while, you get sick of the same thing all the time. Yeah, my daughter, when she first started working there, of course, they give them free donuts. They give them their mistakes and stuff. And so she was bringing donuts home all the time. And, of course, she'd give us some. She'd give some to her dad and that. We got to where we were like, nah, we didn't even work there. Like, we're sick of that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. But that, my daughter works hard and she works a lot of hours, and she's got a hard job when she's there. She used to be a lead, but she stepped down as a lead, and she's what they call an operator now, which means she's kind of like the crew chief of her line, and she's the one that's responsible to keep the machines going that are on her line. Like they have wrapping machines, and I don't even know. I've never even been in there and seen what she does, but just what she tells me. And As a matter of fact, what I got for her for Christmas this year, thinking that she would use it for her house because she's got, she's a widow. She's got two kids and she lives, by herself. She doesn't live with any guys or anything like that. And so she does everything. And she's got, anyway, I got her this tool set that even had like a power drill as part of it for her, thinking, so she could hang up pictures and do little simple repairs and stuff like that at her house, which, my husband or her dad always goes and fixes stuff for her anyway. So, but, I was a lot more thinking like, hanging pictures and stuff like that, little decorating stuff that she could do in her house with her little toolkit. She opened that toolkit. She was so excited about it. She's like, Mom, I love this. She goes, I use all of this stuff at work, and I'm always having to, go scrape it from here and there because, they're community tools there. People borrow them and don't put them back, and anyway. So she was really excited about getting that toolkit because she was going to take it to work and use it there. So that's what she was all excited about. That's one of the things that we got her for Christmas. My husband always just gives everybody money. So he gave her some money, which she was thrilled about that too, because actually she got money twice from my husband because she had borrowed some money from him, and when she went to pay him back a couple of weeks ago, he told her, "No, just keep it. That's your Christmas." And then yesterday, when he was doling out money, he gave her more money. So she got double her Christmas money this year. I'm just on here just babbling. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, lucky. He gave me money for Christmas too. That's okay with me. I could buy whatever I want to with it. All I gave him this year was an Echo Dot. He's been playing with it a little bit, but not much yet. He's been kind of busy. The kids always want him to fix their cars. That's what he's out there doing right now, is working on the stepson's car. My stepdaughter's always wanting him to fix their cars. My daughter that lives here, she's always wanting him to work on cars. So it kind of works out good for my daughter. She's got two dads. One of them's pretty good at working on cars, and the other one's pretty good about fixing stuff around her house. So, and my husband fixes stuff around her house too. But he he loves to work on cars. It's frustrating to him though with all this computer stuff these days. You know. So, what can we do now? Sorry, I'm a boring chat, but I looked and nobody was on but stupid Dave the Finn, so I wouldn't spit on that guy if he was on fire. But that's me. Anybody want to talk about anything? Nobody's really here except for Weirdo. Weirdo's the only one talking to me. And Weirdo's busy. I love your name, by the way, Weirdo. That's pretty funny. Yeah, way too electronically challenged or advanced. Yeah, no. That I have never. I've never, one time I went on his panel because I was trying to be ugly to somebody else. Well, I quit being ugly to people because you know what? I don't want to be known as the mean girl. That's not what I want my legacy to be. And that's not who I am. And so that's done. I'm not going to come on and talk crap about people. That's just not who I am. I mean, I like a good gossip myself. Don't get me wrong. I like to, you know, sometimes some of the stuff that goes on in the Boyd is kind of entertaining, but that's about it. And I never want to be known as a mean girl because I'm not. That's not who I am. That's not who I want to be. That's not what I want to be known as. And so I've never, ever gotten into anything that he was doing. When he first came on the scene, I knew he was a liar. From the first second, I knew he was a liar. And that's why you've never seen me get on his bandwagon. Yeah, I heard about that weirdo. Um, yeah, I don't know whether he did it or not. I'm not going to say I don't care because, I mean, obviously that lady passed away. I didn't know her at all, but you got to feel for her. I don't know if she had children. I don't know, and I think that she was married. I really don't know much about that. I caught a couple seconds of Uber Goober's thing yesterday. Yeah, he's a liar. And if he would have done to me what he did to Kat and showed up at my house, even if he was just across the street making his presence known, I would have had the cops on him. That's stalking, period. I don't care. He wasn't invited to be there. I don't care if he was on public property or not. He was there to let Kat know that he was there. I would have had a problem with that. I would have called the cops. I don't mind. I've met many people that I've met on the internet through the years. We've had get togethers. I mean, I'm not talking about just at Debbie Lynn's. I've been on the internet for a long, long time. And I've belonged to several different groups on the internet, back when we used to just have forum chats. I've met many people that were from the internet, and that's fine with me, but you need to be invited. You need to have a discussion. I'm going to show up at your house, you know, or we're going to meet at such and such place at such and such time. I've even flown across the US 3 or 4 times to meet strangers from the internet. So it's not foreign to me to do that, but it is foreign to me for somebody to drive from another state, several states away, and show up across the street from your house and just sit there so that they know that you're there. I would have had the cops right there. That's not okay. And I don't care for Elvis either. But that wasn't okay to show up on Elvis like that either. That's not okay. That's just weird and stalky. Yeah, I agree. His karma will catch up with him. But I mean, I don't know the whole story about little Rosie, and I do know something about, I mean, everybody got little whiffs of stuff, even if they weren't involved with him at all, which I was never. But I did get whiffs that he was trying to get her medical records and promised to help her in some way. I don't even know how, so I don't want to talk out of the side of my neck, but somehow he was trying to get her medical records and was going to help her in some way. I knew he was lying. He's never done anything good for anyone. So I don't know what that was all about, but um, so if he did give her some money, give her family some money to help pay for the funeral or whatever he did, I don't even know about that. Just, little whiffs of stuff that I hear here and there. So if he did do something like that for her, then good for him. But you know what? If he was really a good person and was trying to do something good for somebody, he wouldn't even feel the need to tell anyone that he did that. He would just do it, right? I mean, I don't know. There's a good chance that I'm a weirdo. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So, I mean, he doesn't really do anything without some kind of payback, even if it's just tooting his own horn saying, oh, well, I did this. But, a lot of times that's a trick too, because look at the thing with the breast cancer and Rosie, here's my brain again. Everybody knows what Rosie I'm talking about. I'm not talking about little Rosie. I'm talking about our Rosie O'Kelly. Duh. So I don't know. But besides my broken foot, which is, you know what? I was talking to my mom this morning on the phone and I told her, I said, Mom, you know me, I'm always trying to think of the blessings and, the reason why maybe something happened. And I said, I think that after being laid up for almost a week now, actually today is a week since I broke my foot. It was a week ago today. Um, I said, I feel like my lesson that I need to learn from this is because I'm laid up and because I can barely get around right now, even on crutches, it's hard. I'm a big girl. It's not easy to carry yourself around with crutches when you're a big girl. And so I told my mom, I said, ever since I got sick in 2014 is when I got really, really sick and spent a lot of time in the hospital. And, my body, I couldn't even walk across the room. I was, that's how sick I was. And I've babied myself kind of ever since then. I haven't pushed myself physically to get back. I mean, like, there's no way in the world that I could go to a factory or something and stand up 8, 10, 12 hours a day. I couldn't do that these days, because I'm not in condition. My body's not in condition to do that between the disease that I have and I have arthritis in my body too. And just because I haven't done that since 2014, you know, I haven't been in a position where I need to stand up on my feet 8, 10, 12 hours a day. So I'm not in condition to do that right now. But you know what? After being laid up, even just for this week, and not being able to get around, you know, I've only had 3 showers this week because it's so difficult to take a shower. I've got a shower chair. My boss gave me a shower chair, and so I can sit and take a shower. So But here's the thing, I can't get my cast wet. And I've tried sticking my leg all the way out of the shower. Well, then I get the floor all wet. And um, so yesterday, when I took my shower, because twice I've stuck my leg out and got water all over the floor. So yesterday morning, when I took my shower, I wrapped my leg up and I taped it up really, really, really good, thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna, not stick my leg out. I'm gonna keep it. Well, guess what happened yesterday? Then I got no water came into the top part of it where I taped it, but water came in through the bottom. So the bag was no good or wasn't sealed up good enough or whatever. So the whole bottom of my cast got wet. And it took, well, my husband used my hair dryer and dried it as good as he could, but my cast was wet on the bottom almost all day yesterday before it finally dried up. So that's not good. So tomorrow when I take my shower, because I'm not going to take one today, tomorrow morning when I take my shower, or maybe I'll take it tonight, probably tonight, because tomorrow we need to leave here by 10 o'clock. Anyway, the next shower that I take, I'm going to stick my leg out and stick it up again because I can't be getting my cast wet. This stinks. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, wet cast. Wet fest. Yeah, it stayed wet. The bottom of my cast, like inside on the bottom of my foot, and got wet. And of course I watched her do the cast. What she did was use this she used this big black sock first and then put that. Hi. Sarah! Where's the little dude? I'm online. Everybody can hear you talking. Oh? So don't say those filthy words you usually say. Three? Yes. Four. Nope, there's only three. Okay, another little dip for the bed in the back too, so that's it. That's it. It don't bother me no more. Oh, and she's got a leg thing for you to bring back. A boot for when I get this cast off. She's got a boot for me. Don't forget it. I need it. Please. Sweetheart. Poopsie whoopsie boop boop boopy doo. He's going over to my daughter's house to go take some stuff and bring some stuff. She broke her bed frame somehow. Well, I have a almost 6-year-old granddaughter that I'm pretty sure was jumping on. Anyway, so we have an old metal bed frame. That's all she needed was the metal bed frame. Anyway, so he's taken her that, and then my parents gave her some bar stools because they got some new ones for their island in their kitchen. And they gave my daughter these bar stools a couple weeks ago. Well, we haven't taken them over, and she hasn't come and got them yet. So he's taken her those bar stools and the bed frame. And she's given me that boot for my foot. You should see him today. It's hilarious. My husband is wearing suspenders. He looks like an old man in his glasses and his suspenders, which is kind of funny because most of you already know, but my husband is 9 years younger than me. So, but he looks old. Seriously, when people see us, they don't know I'm older than him. He's got way more wrinkles and gray hair than I do. So, he must be done playing with cars. He's going to go take that stuff over to my daughter. And like I said, my daughter's going to go do their Christmas with her in laws tonight. She's a widow, but she's always stayed very involved with her husband's family. He died 10 years ago, 10 and a half years ago. Shoot. Yeah, he died 10 years ago. And my daughter was in another relationship with my granddaughter, but I mean, my daughter's husband's family just accepted that child just like she's one of theirs. And she's not in that relationship with that guy anymore. She's got a guy that I guess they call it dating. I don't know, but they're not in any kind of serious relationship. Well, as far as, they're monogamous, I guess you'd call it, but they're not serious. They're not going to get married or have children or anything like that. And um, several times they've broken up and dated other people, and they're convenient, I think, more than anything. My daughter likes to have somebody to go to the movies with and, go do stuff with and stuff like that. So that's what they are to each other. But they're not in any, real romantic thing. The guy that she sees. Um, she's busy with her own kids. Like I said, she works a lot of hours and she's busy with her own kids on her off time and doesn't really have time for a man full time that she's not married to and doesn't live with, you know, and that's okay. But she's got a friend, that they do go out to dinner together and they go to movies and concerts and, you know, I guess he's kind of like a boyfriend, but not really. Like they don't even get upset if, you know, like that it's nothing unusual for them to not see each other for a couple of months because the other one's seeing somebody else. They're both okay with that. I don't know how, well, I don't even know. Mhm. So, what are you going to do today, weirdo, after you get done opening or wrapping your presents? Anything? Doing any cooking or you going somewhere for Christmas tonight or tomorrow? Or somebody coming to you? We're just all going to my mom's. We're going to take the Suburban so it fits everybody. Yeah, that's a lot of people do Christmas on Christmas Eve. My daughter's in-laws always did. And when my two oldest kids were kids, their family did their Christmas on Christmas Eve too. So it always worked out good for us to do it on Christmas Day, which that's the way I grew up anyway. We always had Christmas on Christmas morning. Um, but it worked out great because that way my kids got to spend Christmas with their dad on Christmas Eve, like because that was their tradition, and they got to spend Christmas with us or with me on Christmas Day. So it was great. So now that we're older and all of our kids except one has kids. My stepson, who's 24, yeah, he'll be 25 in June. He's not married yet or has kids. Thank God. I mean, I love the kid. He's great. Seriously, he's a wonderful person, but he's not very responsible with money at all. He's very irresponsible with money. So until he learns, and he makes good money too, but he's terrible with money. So until he kind of grows up a little bit with money, and until he grows up with money a little bit, he needs to not have a wife or children. He knows it too. He knows it. I mean, just this last week on Tuesday, I think it was, he called and wanted to know if he could come over here and take a shower because when he was at work that day, the water company turned his water off because he didn't pay the bill. Not that he didn't have the money to pay the bill, he just didn't go do it. He forgot about it. So he didn't have water to take a shower. Oh, I'm telling you, that would happen to me one time in my life. And that would be it because I can't even imagine. I mean, there's been a couple of times when we didn't have water because the city was doing something. There was a water main break or whatever. That's torture. That's terrible. I can't even. I can't even imagine. I don't know. That's just me. There's been times that he's gotten his power turned off too for the same reason. He'll either go blow his whole paycheck and not have the money to pay it, which we're not going to give them money for stuff like that. Not when he makes good money and he doesn't even have any kids. No way. My husband and I are in agreement on that. We're not giving him money to pay his dumb bills because he's so irresponsible with money that he doesn't pay them himself. So he knows it too. He doesn't even ask. Yeah, to be young again. And he's not hurting anybody but himself because he doesn't have any kids. So, and he doesn't have a girlfriend. I mean, he's got a girlfriend, but they don't live together or anything. So he's only hurting himself when he's either forgets to pay his bills or he blows all of his money and doesn't have the money. Oh my goodness. Oh, to be young again, for sure. And did I tell y'all how I ended up with the puppy? Yeah, my daughter. Yeah, that's true, weirdo. If the girlfriend ever moves in with him, he'll never forget to pay those bills again. She ain't putting up with it. And like I said, he makes good money and he doesn't have any kids. And he doesn't even drive a nice car or nothing. He drives an old rat trap that he bought cash. And he blows money on junk food and video games and He also gives a lot of money to his friends and buys a lot of stuff for his girlfriend. I think he does have a girlfriend, but she doesn't live with him. So I don't even know, but I know he makes good money. He works with my husband in the oil fields, and he makes good money. But he's very, very wasteful. Yeah. Uh, well, let me tell you how I ended up with this puppy. I have a Chiweenie puppy. She's half Chihuahua and half weenie dog. And do you know? Have I already told you, weirdo, how I ended up with this puppy? So my daughter, the one that my husband's taking that stuff to right now, has two kids, and they used to have a cat, but about 6 months ago or so, their cat died. She was older. Yes, my daughter got it first. So anyway, the kids talked her into getting this puppy. Well, what do you think happened when you get a puppy? And I mean, she was like 6, 8 weeks old when they got her. What do you think would happen with a puppy when you work 12 hours a day, 5, 6, 7 days a week? Where do you think that little puppy was at when she was at work? In the bathroom. And then, of course, there's not time to potty train the puppy because nobody's ever home with the puppy. So when the puppy wasn't in the bathroom, she was pottying all over the house, chewing stuff up, doing everything that puppies do. Well, come on. I mean, my daughter knows now, but so anyway, I ended up with the puppy. And at first, I was just going to, and I have the luxury that I was able to take the puppy to work with me because I work at my boss's house, and they have a fenced in yard, and I have my own office and all that kind of stuff. So, and my boss didn't care. My boss loves animals. They have 6 dogs of their own and a cat. So, yeah, so I took her to work with me and I potty trained her. And I got her spayed and I got her puppy shots and all that stuff. And anyway, so that's how I ended up with the puppy. And I get to see my granddaughter a lot more now too because she comes over here all the time to see her puppy. But she doesn't even like they don't even miss taking the puppy home with them because I don't even know. Because well, they look at the puppy as a poop monster, which she's not anymore because she's potty trained now. But anyway, so we got a puppy. My husband wasn't thrilled about it at first because we have 2 old dogs. We've got a 12, let's see, yeah, 11-year-old Chihuahua and a 14-year-old lab. So the lab, she's right here, so I'm not going to say much, but she's 14, okay? And that's really pretty old for a lab. And she's a old lady. Yeah, win-win. Yeah, and the puppy, you know what? She's a good puppy. Like I put her in a crate at night while we're sleeping because she's still such a chewer. And we have a doggy door. And what her favorite thing to do is go outside and get sticks and stuff and bring them in the house and chew them. Yeah, but she's really good. I mean, as far as she's as good as a puppy can get. She's completely potty trained now, and she's starting to learn. Oh, she plays fetch. I haven't taught her any tricks, but she's a pretty smart dog. I could. I wonder what that big thing is. There's some kind of big. I hope that's not a helicopter. There's a big thing around here. I can hear it. I'm not going to get up though because of my leg. Oh, it's a street cleaner. I can see it through the window now. That was weird. Street cleaner out on Christmas Eve. What do you think about that? Yeah, some of the sticks are as big as her, and our shoes are as big as her. And she doesn't chew up our shoes, but it's her game that she likes to come and take our shoes and go running off with them. She doesn't chew them up though. She doesn't destroy anything. She hasn't destroyed anything. But the kids come over. She likes to go steal their toys too. They come over and, of course, take every toy out of the boxes and baskets and shelves that they belong on. And even though the kids are pretty good about putting their toys back away, of course, there's going to be stuff that she finds. So she'll come running out with one of the kids' toys. Hilarious the other day when she come running out with the little girl's baby doll. And that baby doll is bigger than her. Yeah. I don't know. Monday is our trash day, but we only had one bag in there, so my husband didn't take it out to the street yesterday because we didn't think about it until it was late. And then we were like, well, there's only one bag out there, so baby, you don't have to get dressed and go take it out. Because he was in his pajamas and no shirt, and you know, I said, we'll be fine until next week. So I don't know if they picked up trash this morning or not. But usually, if it's a holiday on a Monday on our regular trash day, then they'll come and pick it up on Wednesday. So whether they do or not, I don't know. And next week, we only get recycle every 2 weeks, and this wasn't recycle week. So there's not much in that bin yet either. We drink a lot of bottled water, and I do a lot of Amazon shopping too. So our recycle thing fills up with plastic bottles and cardboard boxes from Amazon. That's that's what our recycle usually consists of. Yeah, but I don't know if the city calls today a holiday or not. I don't know. I know our bank was going to be closed today and tomorrow because I saw that sign. I can't even believe it, guys, that today's already Monday. When I left work on Friday, I had 5 days off, and now we're down to just 2. I get I got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off this week. Yeah. My husband's only off today and tomorrow. He's got to go back to work on Wednesday. So I might do another hangout on Wednesday. Maybe more people will, holidays will be over and stuff, and more people will show up. But it's been fun talking to you, weirdo. I'm glad you're here talking to me. I appreciate that. My husband thinks I'm a weirdo. He walks in and I'm sitting here talking to my computer. You should have seen him too. He walked in, he looked at me, and he just shook his head. And you probably heard what I said to him. I'm on live. Don't say nothing disgusting. Yeah. He could have really embarrassed the crap out of me, couldn't he? He could have said a whole bunch of a lot of stuff. Ugh. Well, I guess sometimes, I guess it wasn't meant to be that I was going to cook a lot this. And I've been on the keto diet too and lost 13 pounds since Thanksgiving. And so maybe this is God's way of keeping me out of the kitchen and cooking all this delicious stuff that I'm not supposed to have. Yeah. Yeah, 13 pounds since Thanksgiving. I've been on keto off and on and lost, 5 or 10 pounds here and there. And then I go off of it and, gain a couple pounds back. But I've been consistent since Thanksgiving up until yesterday. Yesterday, I ate some soup that my daughter made and I had a piece of pie. Actually, I had two pieces of pie yesterday. I'm not going to lie. So I did badly yesterday, but today I haven't done anything bad. I got up this morning and drank my bulletproof coffee. And my husband's coming back in. I got up and drank my bulletproof coffee, and I haven't eaten anything else yet today. So, is she home? Where's my boot? Oh, ew.
Well, pretty garage is a trodero.
Oh, she didn't get it out for you?
No, I went in there and all I say is screaming a little girl. It's a raccoon or whatever is in there. She's screaming.
Oh, yeah. Rissa told me raccoons live in their garage.
No, it's a tornado.
I bet. I mean, I know my daughter, so.
Jesus. How you expect? It's warm in there.
Is Mike and them still here?
No, nobody gone.
Did they get the truck started?
No.
Oh. I see. Oh, I got something from Social Security.
Huh?
Something from Social Security.
I don't know what's on.
Well, that's another thing too. I found out the other day I have to be 70 years old to retire with full Social Security.
This is what it is.
I'm mad about that. I was thinking 65. I was thinking, yay, I got 9 more years. Yeah, nope. I found out in order to draw my full Social Security, I have to wait until I'm 70 to retire. Hi, Cyber Bunny. How are you? Well, so he brought me the boot. It's got leaves and junk all over it. Ooh, I got a comb. It's cold. I guess it's either or foot, looks like. So I'll be able to wear it. Hmm. Yeah, my daughter said she paid $200 for this thing. So she said, hi, Yugi. So my daughter said, Mom, don't let them sell you a boot. She goes, they cost 200. Well, and like I said, that was a year and a half or 2 years ago. She said, they cost $200. She goes, I've got one. Don't buy one. My dogs are sniffing at it now. My husband was saying when he went over there to go get that boot, he had to go out to her garage to get it. And there's possum out there. And my grandson went out there with him to the garage, but ended up running out because he saw a possum. Yugi mute. Weirdo. Okay. Well, I should probably get off of here because I guess my husband's going to stay in the house now. So maybe we'll watch something on YouTube or something, or not YouTube. We don't have cable anymore, so we watch all of our TV on the internet. We've got Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hallmark. Those are the four that I pay for. All right, weirdo. Thank you for being here and talking to me. I really appreciate it. And y'all have a wonderful Christmas. I'll probably come back maybe Wednesday because I'll be here by myself all day on Wednesday. Yeah, Netflix is the new. So's Hulu. Hulu's pretty cool too because you can watch a lot of the shows that are on TV, you know, but you have to watch them the next day on Hulu. Like I'm watching This Is Us, and I still watch Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, those two are two of the shows that I was gonna. I'll tell you something that I haven't been able to find though, or been able to watch that I really miss, and it's just trash TV. Is the Bravo channel. I love the Bravo channel, but every place I've tried to go to watch it, you have to have a cable subscription to watch it. Well, I don't have cable anymore, so I don't. But anyway, so have a beautiful Christmas. Please be safe. Don't drink and drive. And just love your family and appreciate them because, honest to God, we'd never know how long we have them. And be good to each other. And we'll see you all soon. Thanks for coming. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, that's right, weirdo. Those are the shows that I like, is those housewife shows. All right, we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.